Welcome everybody back to another episode of the Square Table Degenerates Podcast. We're here live on location at Leprechaun Studios in Brooklyn, Ohio. I'm Joe, as always, joined by Jason. Say hi, buddy.
What's
TV.
up? Leprechaun TV here. How you doing, man?
To the left of him is Mike. Say hi, Mike.
Hi, I'm Phil Collins, the drummer for Genesis.
Awesome, and we're joined today by Mr. Lanny Poffo, the former wrestler. How are you today, sir?
Good. I'm laying on my back, enjoying my rest.
Awesome, and we're joined today by Mr. Whoa, shoot, sorry about that. Can you still hear me? I'm sorry about that.
Let's all talk at once. What's going on?
There was the feed kicked in on the other side. Sorry about that.
Is it my fault?
No, that was 100% my fault.
Oh, then I'm going to blame you.
Perfect.
Outstanding. Let's get this party started again. We are joined today again by Mr. Lanny Poffo, the former wrestler. How are you today, sir?
Well, I got my covers, so because I'm naked, I sleep in the nude. So, but I'm all covered up.
That's good. We don't want any accidental loss.
Friday night.
Friday night and we're partying. We don't want any accidental nudity here on the air.
Yeah, I found at the age of 65, you cannot shoot pool with a rope.
Ain't that the fucking truth? But we're talking about wrestling.
Now, I was on your Wikipedia page, and there's something I did not know. It says you were born in Alberta, Canada, Calgary, Alberta, Canada. Is that correct, or is that an error?
That is correct. My father was working for Stu Hart, and he couldn't leave until I was born. And then about 2 weeks later, he takes me to Amarillo, Texas. And I had nothing to do with it. I was a victim.
Okay. So how old were you when you moved back to, when you guys left Canada? How old were you? Were your brother up there with you? How old were you guys when you left? How old were you when you left Canada? How long were you up there for?
I was 2 weeks old when I left. I didn't.
Okay, so you were just born and that's it.
I didn't help with the driving at all.
You help with the rest stuff, though, show with the sniper.
Right.
That's awesome. Now, how was growing up once you got back to the States? When you were growing up with your dad was a wrestler, was it always about wrestling? What was life like?
Well, my father built a house when I was in the second grade in Downers Grove, Illinois, and just started wrestling locally in Chicago, Milwaukee, Indianapolis for Dick the Bruiser, Vern Gagne, and, so from second grade to senior in high school, 1973, I just stayed in Downers Grove, Illinois, and then I left immediately and went on the road trying to figure out how to learn to wrestle.
Okay.
Was your dad a big influence on your wrestling career?
Yes, he was a very big influence on everything. He liked to keep talking after he made his point.
All right. That makes sense.
Now, how many siblings do you have besides Randy? Do you have any other brothers and sisters, or is that it, just you two?
That's it. No, I've got, my daughter is 36. I've got a grandson who's 3.5. And I've got another grandson who will be 9 months in a few days.
Okay, congrats on all the grandkids. I'm a new grandpa myself as of a couple weeks ago.
But I am a divorcee. I didn't want to be a divorcee. I would like to be a widower, but that's the way it worked out.
All right.
just think if I had done it, I'd probably be getting out now.
Amen, brother.
I don't want to give you a tour of my house, but I've got a beautiful painting of O.J. Simpson, and I look at him as my hero. If I ever meet him, I'm going to have him sign my knife.
The would-be weapon.
Now, when you guys were just in the house, me and my brother used to wrestle a lot, just joking around. Did you guys do a lot of that growing up? Did that help you? Did you play sports in high school too? Was that just kind of, were you just always kind of destined to be a wrestler, would you say?
Well, my brother wanted to be a baseball player, and he made it to the minor leagues, St. Louis Cardinals, Cincinnati Reds, Chicago White Sox, and he played for 4 years and then became a wrestler after he got unconditionally released for the third and final time. And then I'd say baseball's loss was wrestling's gain.
That's the truth.
Oh, for sure, for sure.
Maybe you've heard of him.
He's come up every now and then in conversations, for sure. Now, what?
Got a question up there.
Oh, we got a question here. It says, "Who named you Leaping Lanny Poffo?" From Michael Shesky.
My father did. He named me Lanny, and then he was very dear friends with a guy named Leaping Larry Shane, a wrestler from Detroit. And but he was a fast driver, and unfortunately, he wrecked his car and died early. But my dad said, "Well, as a tribute to Leaping Larry, you could be Leaping Lanny." So who was I to argue?
Okay.
Especially if your dad gave you that, right? So
Have you ever heard of Leaping Larry Shane?
I have not. I'm not.
yeah, I'm old school. Yeah, yes, I have.
Okay, well, here's your assignment. Within the next weekend, I want you guys to go on YouTube and look up Leaping Larry Shane, Chene, and you'll find that he had quite a fantastic, individuality for the wrestling business.
Awesome. Okay. Now, when you started wrestling your first match, says your Wikipedia says you're about 20 years old. Is that right?
No, I was 18.
18. Okay. How big was the crowd when you were wrestling that match? Would you say it was a regional match? I'm sure.
It was Aurora, Illinois. There were more people in the locker room than in the audience.
Now, is this on the wiki page? It says you wrestled Wayne Cowan, who is Zeb Coulter now. Was that your first match, or did you have another match before that?
I never wrestled Dutch Mantel until I got to Atlanta, Georgia, when I was 19 years old. So that is definitely false.
Okay.
He's a very dear friend of mine, very funny guy. In fact, I insist that you guys have him on your show. He is funny.
Oh, for sure. I'll try to give him on the show. I have no problem in Zeb Coulter on the show. It's funny out there. I think he's a Vietnam vet, wasn't he? Something like that.
Well, he was a vet of some kind.
Yeah. I was going to ask. That was actually one of the questions. When was the last time you had talked to Mr. Cohen? Or Cowan, however he pronounces it.
Dutchman.
The last time I spoke to him was in West Virginia. We were doing an autograph signing, and we sat next to each other, and we reminisced.
Okay.
Great wrestling mind, Dutch Mantel.
Okay. Now, do you look fondly back on the old school territory days? Did you like what Mike was talking about earlier? Was it CWA you were saying?
It was the CWA back.
Was that real fun time in your life? How was that?
Well, I look back on the territories. My favorite place was Amarillo with Terry and Dory Funk.
Yes.
And I also enjoyed the Maritimes, which is Nova Scotia, New Brunswick, and Prince Edward Island. And also, I enjoyed the Portland, Oregon, Dono's promoter. We went to Seattle, Portland, Yakima, Astoria, which is where they made Kindergarten Cop. It's not the Tuma.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
And I've been, it was fun to go all these places. But then when I got to New York, everything was just in and out, and I really enjoyed that the most. I wrestled 21 years, 8 years in the WWF, WWE. And I have to say that, especially for the 4 months that I was on main events because of my feud with Hulk Hogan, that was the highlight of my career.
Oh, yeah. Now, back then when you had were you always trying to get into the WWE? Was it a goal? Did you just kind of, when your brother went there, did you just kind of follow him? How'd you end up, who first contacted you to get into the WWE or back then WWF? in wrestling there?
They saw a video of my brother, and they put an APB out for him, and it was Jimmy Hart that contacted him, and then he's on the phone with George Scott, the booker at the time of the WWE, and he says, "Got any room for my little brother?" And George says, "Well, not on top." And but he says, "They got room for you, but not on top." He says, "Is he a heel or a baby face?" So I said, "I'm a baby face." He said, "Okay, he's a baby face." And then about 5 years later, I'm a heel. But in the meantime, Leaping Lanny was the baby face. And then I became a villain. And that's when I was in the drinking from the silver chalice of success that lasted 4 months.
Big red.
It probably felt like years though, that 4 months though, you know?
Body wise, I'm sure.
Body wise for sure.
What do you mean?
Now, when you
Getting beat up, your body taking the, getting beat up.
Oh no, it was I didn't get injured. I was just just think I was on 2 main events in Madison Square Garden. That's a little bit less than Bruno Sammartino. But still, I was like a fat girl on prom night, and I finally got a date for the dance.
Is that your favorite place to wrestle?
My favorite place to wrestle was Topeka, Kansas, because that was NBC. That's the night that I wrestled Hulk Hogan on NBC. And that's what changed me from a complete jabroni to a partial jabroni.
Semi-jabroni, okay. Yeah.
Now, when you were throwing out the frisbees in the poems and you first started out as leaping Lanny Poffo, was that your idea to come up with the poems and frisbees? Did they approach you with that gimmick? How did that even start?
I was booked on the TNT show. Do you know what that is? Or
Tuesday night? Was it Tuesday Night Titans, right?
Whoever said Tuesday Night Titans is 100% correct.
Dang, I get that. I remember that.
Okay, you guys old enough to know this?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Honestly, we may look young.
Oh yeah, we was watching. We're all well into our 40s. He's probably the youngest, but we remember these two. Oh yeah.
So anyway, I'm booked on the TNT show, and I'm thinking to myself, if I'm boring, they'll never invite me back, right?
There we go.
Is there trouble?
You're far from already. 15 minutes in, you're fine.
Oh, no, we're good. We just had a little delay there, but we're back.
Titans, on Tuesday Night Titans, I thought if I was boring, they'd never let me back. So I wore a suit of armor and I wrote a poem for the occasion. Would you like to hear the poem that I wrote for the occasion?
Fudge, yes, we would like to hear the poem.
Okay. Look back through the annals of history and the Wrestling Hall of Fame. Men from all nations with courage to spare, who struggled to carve out a name. Now compare these high standards of valor to those chivalrous knights of yore, with bravery staunch as their armor, their glory both legend and lore. My medieval connection with wrestling relives that magnificent past. Though mindless skeptics may snicker and scoff, the winner is he who laughs last. Alive with the love of wrestling. I love it. What's happening? Alive with the love of wrestling.
Oh no, we're good.
I appear on TNT
between Vince and Awful Alfred, the hottest show on TV. I'm not your average wrestler, but I wouldn't want to be. I never scream or kiss my arms. I'm happy just being me. I call myself Leaping Lanny. I validate what I say to every single wrestling fan who's watching USA. Yes, I believe in miracles. As God has blessed this great land, I believe the referee will soon be raising my hand. So then we go to commercial black, and Vince says, Lanny, that was great. From now on, you do a poem before every match.
Wow, that's actually one of my coming up questions was about memorizing these poems. And my God, you just feel like it was yesterday. Now, in 1989, you came out as the Genius. Now, I think personally, the Genius is one of the most underrated gimmicks of all time. In terms of just the way you got under the crowd's skin, the way you would just come and do the poem just how you do it. I just thought it was awesome. I just thought it was a great gimmick.
Well, thank you. I decided to pattern myself after Peter Sellers in the Pink Panther. Have you ever heard of that?
Oh yeah.
My God.
Okay, like it was a one joke movie. Of course I knew that, you idiot. I was only testing you. So I wanted, since I wasn't tough looking, and since the people already knew me as Leaping Lanny, I decided to change my personality, become slightly effeminate yet cruel when your back is turned, and write poetry that basically insults your favorite sports teams in every town I go, trying to get the heat.
Did he do anything from Cleveland?
Well, we'll get that. Now, the caps and gowns you used to wear, did you get those? How did you get those? Did they give them to you? Did you have to buy them from like every town you went to? Did you buy them in a different area? How did you get all those caps and gowns and everything?
There was a company called Collegiate Cap and Gown in Champaign, Illinois. And that was supposed to be the best caps and gowns. And I bought several of them. And it was, now they've changed their name, because I just bought another one, because I'm on Cameo now. And people want to see me in the cap and gown. So they changed their name to Earth something. But it's still the same company in Champaign, Illinois.
Okay. Now, did you like becoming a heel? Did you like the evilness, the getting under the people's skin?
I thought it was fun. Yeah. I tried to get the cheap heat, like listen to the people, and I walk a certain way, and yeah, I enjoyed it. But I knew I wasn't a tough-looking guy in the face. Like Macho Man, his eyes would scare you. You look at my eyes, you're not afraid. So I decided to do the comedy. It was like a comedy thing, a little comedy. But nobody else was doing it, so I figured I'd be the only one. So I became the only comedian in a very serious business.
How did you end up? Was that around the same time you ended up being the executive consultant for Kurt Hennig, Mr. Perfect? How did that come about?
Well, all of a sudden, I'm just hanging around, and George Steele sees me and says, "Hey, you're going to wrestle Hulk Hogan." And I said, "I'll be damned," and in Topeka, Kansas. He says, "It's Saturday night main event." And then, wow. And then next thing you know, Kurt is involved in the finish. And that set up a feud between all of us. So it was, I'll tell you, I'll be honest, it was the greatest 4 months of my life, career-wise.
That was actually my next question coming up. How did it feel just knowing that you beat Hulk Hogan? At that time, not many people had beat Hulk Hogan at all. I mean, it was a count-out win for sure, but it was still a win against Hogan. I mean, how did that feel for you? You've been touching on it, says the best 4 months of your life. Just that moment of beating Hogan, how did that feel to you personally?
Well, let me explain it this way. Did you remember the DVD Be a Man by my brother?
Vaguely.
He came out with a CD where he did rap tunes. And at the time, Randy was mad at... What's that?
Be a Man, Hulk.
You heard of it?
Yes.
So this is like the only argument I ever have with Randy. Randy comes up to me and says he wants me to write a rap tune against knocking Hulk Hogan. I said, I can't do that. He says, can't or won't. I said, both. I said, he says, why not? I said, I know he hasn't done it for me lately, but I was a jabroni for all these years, and he goes and puts me over on NBC. And I can't be non-appreciative. I should be appreciative the rest of my life. So I made a deal with him. I would write a song about Kurt Hennig, and he could use that on his album as the perfect friend. But when it finally came out, by the time I heard it, he had tweaked it so much I didn't recognize it as my own. So, but you understand, I'm not going to beat Hulk Hogan in 1989, and I'm not going to, many years later, write a nasty song about him. I can't do that. If he never does anything for me for the rest of my life, can't you understand that I'm grateful?
It's sort of like biting the hand that feeds you.
Or fed me, at least past tense. Yeah.
Right.
I mean, a lot of people do. I can't do it. I can't. I like him too much, and even though he may never do another thing for me, but I will always wish him well and speak well of him.
Okay. Now, would you say that I think 1990, that 89, 90, that era, I would say that's one of the funnest times in wrestling. Would you say, I mean, not irrespective of your career, would you say that's one of the more historical, funnest times that we've had in pro wrestling history, at least WWE history?
Well, when I meet people that are the certain age, they tell me that. But I think the Attitude Era gets the most votes for the most fun, because that's when they didn't have censors.
Shit.
We have technical problems.
Yeah, you froze up after we said the Attitude Era. Yeah, okay, we should be good now.
I think
you're
the
better now,
Attitude
Lanny?
Era was, yes.
Okay, there we go.
I think the Attitude Era was the most fun. That's what the fans tell me, because they have memories of these ridiculous things that went on, and I think that was a big time in wrestling.
Question up on that.
Oh, we got some questions here. We got says, who ran the locker rooms back then?
Nobody. Just came in, get dressed, and that's it. I never knew anybody running a locker room. It's you go in, take a shower after your match, and put your clothes on. I didn't think there was anything to be, they had agents with the finishes, but that was it.
Now, on WrestleMania 6, Mr. Perfect lost to Brutus the Barber Beefcake. Now, was it true that you had no idea that you were supposed to get your hair cut that night?
Well, I figured I would be, because every time I wrestled with Brutus Beefcake, I'd always get a haircut. And I figured, why wouldn't they do it for WrestleMania? But the guy that gave the finish was Jay Strongbow, and he was already senile. So he might have forgot that, But I had stole a gimmick. I wanted them to cut the rest of my hair, because I already had about 15 haircuts, and I looked like chemotherapy. So I had already seen, when I was in Portland, Oregon, I had seen the late Buddy Rose lose a haircut match, and then he wore a wig in the ring for interviews and a mask and a wig for his matches. And I saw it. Boy, that got over. So I knew so I bought a bunch of wigs, and then when you yank my wig off, I would go, oh my God, and pretend to be humiliated, but I just was trying to get a pop from the audience.
Okay. Now, that was my follow up? Pretty much what was the script was supposed to happen?
What was what?
You just thought at that point you were just going to get your haircut and just went with it? Yeah,
I figured that was the way to go. I mean, why wouldn't you get the rest of your haircut? I already had about 15 haircuts. Why wouldn't they cut the rest of it for WrestleMania? So of course, Brutus Beefcake gave a speech at the Hall of Fame that was total ridiculous bullshit. But the thing is, if you know him, as he remembers it, it's not a lie if you believe it. You know what I mean? But if he gave a good speech, that would have been his first.
Right.
That would have been his first good speech anyway. Because he was just as bad on the microphone as he was in the ring.
That's some shade. Love it.
Love
it.
Sorry,
Love
there's
it.
some truth there.
Now, what happened to you leaving the WWE? Was it just the gimmick ran out and they just didn't have anything for you to do? How did that transpire?
I'm in Los Angeles, and Vince McMahon says, I need to see you, and he says that we're going to have to let you go. And I said, well, this is a bad time to ask for a raise, isn't it? So, little joke, you know. So then I went home, and 6 months later, I'm the manager of the Beverly Brothers. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, yes.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's a little choppy. Oh, we froze again.
It froze me.
All right, yeah, now we can hear you. All right, good. Sorry about that. All right, yeah, and I see you move. All right, I think we're good.
Okay. Any other questions?
All right, there you go. There we go. Sorry about that. Okay, we got we left off at the Beverly Brothers.
Yeah, after I got fired, 6 months later, I'm up with the Beverly Brothers. I came back. The return of the genius. Can you hear me?
Hey, still there? Yes, I can hear you. Sorry about these technical difficulties here. We're just got a little choppy internet. All right, oh yeah, it's raining out here too.
Yeah, we've had a lot of rain today
in Ohio, so we're up here in Cleveland. There we go. Back again. Sorry, you can still hear us, right, Lanny?
I can hear you. I
right,
remember
perfect,
I lived
perfect.
on Menor on the Lake when I was in the first grade.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Good. That's about 50 minutes east of here. I got some fans. We got some viewers out in Menor. Menor's we had some Ashtabula viewers to start the show. But the WCW, I read that you were supposed to be in there, but they never had a gimmick, and then they paid you anyways. What happened with all that?
Well, did you know I had a famous brother? Did you know I had a famous brother? Hello, can you hear me?
You still hear us?
Can you hear me?
Time freeze my.
But he's
Can you hear me?
There we go. Oh, there we go.
Can you hear me?
All right, we heard you say hear me, and then it locked up again. Bear with me here while we connect. Sorry about. Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, you knew I had a famous brother, right?
All right, you still here?
Yes. Hello? Can you hear me?
We're back. We're back. Sorry about that. We had the internet go down. Can you still hear us, Lanny?
I can hear you.
I'm being leave.
he gave up on us.
Okay, well, can you hear me?
Oh, there we go. Sorry about that. The internet rebooted on us. Hey, I think we're good now. All right, good. Now we were.
Appreciate that.
Sorry. Yeah. Sorry. Thanks for sticking with us through the technical difficulties there. This is it's raining here, and shit happens. It's 2020. The WCW. What happened with that? I read that you were paid by those guys, but didn't have to do anything because they didn't come up with the gimmick for you. Was that true, or what happened there?
Well, my brother came up with a gimmick for me, and my brother, we took pictures. I bleached my hair blonde. I got extensions. I got contact lenses, blue cup with blue eyes, and I wrote a song, and I paid some musicians to sing the song so I could enter the ring. And steroids were not legal, so I took a drug called human growth hormone, and I got myself in good shape, artificially, of course, and waited for the phone to ring, and it never rang, but the money kept rolling in. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. We heard you paid some musicians to do a song, and what happened after that?
Okay, so I worked really hard on my gimmick, and I was suntanning myself and training hard and taking a. Are you there?
Stand by. We're still here. All right, bear with me. Oh, this. All right, we're back here. Sorry again. I think we were a little choppy there. You still hear us, Lanny?
Yeah.
All right, there we go. All right, so we last left off. You had somebody write your songs and your gimmick, and you had contact lenses in. Then what happened after that?
And I was working out really hard. I took a drug called human growth hormone. I was getting in top shape, getting ready for my gimmick, and it never happened. And the money kept rolling in, but the phone call never happened of come on in. But my brother kept lobbying for me and asking me if I was getting ready and everything. And I had new boots, new trunks, every costume, and it never happened. So I guess that there's never been a guy in wrestling that has given less and gotten more than me.
What was the gimmick supposed to be?
Gorgeous George.
Just a rehash of the Gorgeous George from the 50s?
A rehash of Gorgeous George from the 40s and 50s.
Oh, jeez. Wow. They just never went through with it. They had a lot of random things happen in WCW too.
They did have a Gorgeous George that was a female that came out with Macho Man.
Didn't they give the gimmick to...
After he bought the name, so since they were going to use me, he used it for his girlfriend at the time, and they made her Gorgeous George, and so that was the use of the name. But I got to say, my brother has always looked out for me and always helped me out, and sometimes at the expense of the wrestling business.
Okay. Now, when you inducted your brother into the Hall of Fame in 2015, how did that come about? Was it an honor for you? How did that feel for you inside?
Well, my brother didn't want to go in the Hall of Fame by himself. He wanted to go as a member of the Poffo family, Lanny, Randy, and Angelo Poffo, the three of us.
Okay.
And he insisted on that. Talked about it constantly. If anything happens to me, don't let them put me in the Hall of Fame unless it's all three of us. So, and he got the idea from the Von Erichs because he felt that Fritz and Kerry and Kevin and David deserve to be in the Hall of Fame, but not Chris and Mike. You understand that, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
See, Chris and Mike are in the Hall of Fame. And Randy would say, Jesus Christ, Lou Thesz isn't in the Hall of Fame. And Johnny Valentine isn't in the Hall of Fame, and they got these jackoffs in the Hall of Fame, And so I got a call in 2012 from John Laurinaitis, and he says, we want to put your brother in the Hall of Fame. And I said, well, Randy doesn't want to be in your Hall of Fame unless you put the three of us in. So he says, well, I'll get back to you on that. And, it didn't get over. So when I turned 59, I realized I was the older brother now. Because my brother only lived to 58 and a half. So I thought about the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few, or the one from Star Trek. And I said, I'm going to put Randy in the Hall of Fame. So I told my mommy, and she was very upset. That wasn't his wishes. And I said, well, this is about the macho fans. And there's millions of them, and they're suffering every year that he's not in. So I've got to do the right thing in spite of Randy's wishes. I said, I already tried to get the three of us in. They're not interested in that. So I get a call from Mark Carano, and he wants me to go to New Orleans to get interviewed by the WWE website. The WWE network. So I said, and by the way, I've decided to put Randy in the Hall of Fame by himself. Oh, I'll get back to you on that. He calls me back and he says, we only have one posthumous inductee per year, and this year it's Paul Bearer. So he says, we don't, but if you can kayfabe for 1 year, we'll put him in San Jose, California. So I didn't tell anybody, but they leaked it, and then I put him into the Hall of Fame. So do you think I did the right thing or not?
Oh yeah, I definitely think he deserves to be in the Hall. I don't know what he would say about it, but I mean, I would assume most WWE fans would say he's easily one of the top 5 of our generation. Would you say?
Randy enjoyed being not in the Hall of Fame better than, actually I killed his gimmick because he was like Pete Rose, and not in the Hall of Fame. And when you're not in the Hall of Fame, you're more talked about.
Well, that might be because isn't the rumor about him and Stephanie?
Yeah, I heard that rumor too, but I don't know anything about
it. Froze again.
You froze?
Sorry, we froze again there, Lanny. Can you still hear us?
I can hear you.
I didn't say that, but I'm just saying.
I think
Could that be why?
What's that?
I heard that it was just. I'm just. It's a rumor as a fan.
Yeah, I think every fan's heard that rumor by now.
But yeah, that not be a reason? Who knows? But yeah.
Well, Randy didn't kiss and tell, and so whether he did or didn't, I wouldn't know. And whether I knew or not, I wouldn't tell you.
Now, your poems that you did come up with, did you write them all? Did you have to be approved? Did you write them down? Did you just memorize them all? How did every poem come about when you went to different places?
I wrote them all, and I had to be approved because Vince didn't like some of my poems, and he didn't like them too long, and so I got a little micromanaged there, but I wrote every one of them. So it's one of the few gimmicks that was real.
I hate my life.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
I try to reposition everything there.
Yeah.
I can hear you. I'm so sorry about that. Yeah, we had about 30 seconds there. We didn't hear anything.
Totally.
There we go. Sorry about that again. We're back. The internet.
It's storming here, so.
Always.
All right. So we left off with the poem. I was going to ask you about your poems in general. Now, did you have to get prior approval for those? Did you just do them off the top of your head? How did you normally come about with the poems in each city you went to?
In each city, I did them on my own, but for TV, I had to get approval from Vince McMahon.
Here's Lanny.
Some you're in and out.
God dang it. Okay. So it was more raunchy if you on the house shows than if you went to the Saturday Main Event or something like that.
Well, yeah, he always had to approve it if it was a big deal or a TV show. But generally, he appreciated what I did. Every once in a while, he would give me some criticism, and sometimes he would just not like it.
Okay. Now, what did you appear to be a pretty smart man? I would say. No, you some with the genius thing. Did you ever make it to college? What would you have been a Saluki like your brother did? What happened there?
What was the last thing like my brother did? What'd you say?
Oh, I read he went to Southern Illinois. He was a Saluki. Would you have went there to college? Did you go to college at all? What happened with all that?
Randy did not go to Southern Illinois.
Okay.
Randy went from high school to baseball, from baseball to wrestling. And SIU, Randy never went there except to wrestle later in life. And, when we were promoting it. But I never went to college. I got right into the wrestling business and stayed in it 21 years. And that's the story. I'm 65 years old. I'll be 66 December 28th.
Okay. Happy birthday in December. What do you think of wrestling today? Do you still watch a lot of wrestling, or?
I don't watch a lot of wrestling, but I have appeared on Ring of Honor, which I really enjoyed, and I appeared once on AEW, which I really enjoyed. And I hope that WWE, AEW, and Ring of Honor, I hope everybody does well, and I hope that everybody makes money. I've done well for myself, and now I want everybody else to do well too.
Okay. But besides that kind of thing, I saw you had a podcast there for a little bit. How are you enjoying yourself? What are you doing with dealing with the COVID and stuff? How was retirement? What are you doing with yourself these days?
I did 20 episodes of the podcast, and then I was working with JP Zarka, and he is phenomenal. He's brilliant, but the thing is, it was just too much work for me. I am retired, and now what I'm going to do, I'm gonna give you guys a scoop. Are you ready?
Yeah, sure.
I am going to sell my condo, and I am going to move to Ecuador and spend the rest of my life on the Pacific Ocean.
Oh wow!
Who the hell could blame you?
Wow.
Must be nice.
What's the time frame on this? You already got your condo listed up, or how long we expect you to stay in the States for?
Okay, they're gonna. I've already. We're gonna sign the papers. We already have a buyer. That's gonna be October the 10th, and then I'm gonna be leaving for Ecuador, a one-way ticket on October the 14th, and I'm going to try to live my life at full measure. The town is Manta, Ecuador, Manta, and it's on the Pacific coast.
Okay. Are you still going to keep doing the cameos from there, or are you pretty much done with that when you move to Ecuador?
I'm going to still do the cameos, but that's all.
Okay.
I had Steve Credo, my web guy, take everything off of my shop section except for the cameo.
Okay. Yeah, I was checking out some of the cameos. You put a lot of effort into them. I'm sure the guys appreciate that. Well, we have one more question here. It says, did you use a... Bear with me here. Psycho Mike asked, did he use B-bar?
B-bar.
What's B-bar mean?
It's old school boot company.
Oh, I was asking about your boots, I guess. What was your when you used your wrestling boots? What was the boot shop you used?
Gee, I don't even remember. Carl and Hildegard used to make everybody's boots and stuff, but then we got boots from Bill Ash in Arkansas, and then then there was this guy in Houston that made boots, and there's Mexicans that make boots, and I don't remember. I just wanted boots, and I don't know. I guess if I have one regret, I didn't get zipper boots, because lacing your boots is the hardest thing to do in wrestling.
That's fucking true,
Do you have any memories at all of Cleveland when you were here, of Richfield Coliseum, anything like that? Any poems you remember from Cleveland?
I remember that I was in Richfield Coliseum, and I don't remember any particular poem that stands out from the others. But that was between Akron, Cleveland, and Canton, right?
Yeah, right in the middle of it. Now they tore that down about 10, 15 years ago. It's just a empty field now. They've given it back to nature. Everything's downtown Cleveland now. It's crazy.
Every place I've ever wrestled is either torn down or needs to be.
Mike wrote the Poughkeepsie Civic Center. Oh, geez.
Poughkeepsie Mid-Houston Civic Center. Yeah,
that's crazy.
I was a jobber back then. I mean, I was the enhancement talent back then.
Mike was calling it, they joking to call it enhancement talent instead of jobbers now.
Yes, enhancement talent. It's so they don't offend you.
Right.
Right.
The Mid-Hudson Civic Center.
Yeah, I went there and did a couple of TV shows there. TV tapings back in the day when I was a younger nerd, but in Poughkeepsie, New York, in the Mid-Houston Civic Center.
Mid-Hudson.
Yeah. You actually sat and chatted with me and my buddy that we went together there, and we sat in the stands and you chatted with us for about an hour, and you were absolutely a blast. So. I know you don't remember that, but that was just one of my wrestling memories.
I don't remember who made my boots.
Yeah, that's why I said B-Bar. Well, that wasn't my question. That was the guy that my buddy. That's who wrote it on the internet. He asked about B-Bar, and the H&G hair. I can't even say it, but the H&G back in Columbus or wherever in Ohio. There, yeah, they make gimmicks for everybody.
It's true.
All right. Well, that's about all the time we have for Mr. Lanny Poffo. You got anything you want to promote before we let you go here, sir?
GeniusLannyPoffo.com. GeniusLannyPoffo.com. It's my website. And you can tune right into my, the Cameo. And but I'll tell you what, thank you for the interview, and I appreciate everything. And we had some technical problems, but then we did it right. Sorry I did it on my back, but I'm at the stage in life where why stand up if you can sit, and why sit if you can lay down.
Amen. And thank you for sticking with us through those technical difficulties. You enjoy the rest of the day.
I'm gonna tell you why I'm really the genius. I'm gonna turn the camera and show you the way I got it set up.
That's awesome.
Thank you very much. I very much appreciate it, brother. Thank you very
excellent. Much. Thank you, guys.
All right, take it easy.
Have a good night.
Bye-bye.
Bye. All right, we're back live, guys. How'd everybody like Leaping Lanny Poffo?
I don't like that guy.
You like it? He's still there. He can still hear you on the phone.
I don't like that guy.
He's still in the group.
Well, that's what I said. He spent a good hour when I went to Mid-Hudson Civic Center in Poughkeepsie, New York. We hung out, and me and Dee Dee, my Demon of Darkness, Michael Olszewski, who's on here, has been writing, asking questions. But anyway, we hung out with him, and he's talked to us for an hour. Seriously. And, I mean, he didn't have to.
What did he talk about for an hour?
Dude, wrestling, the way that how he pretty much what he just told you or us.
he's pretty much real.
Yeah. Oh,
That's
dude,
what
he's
I got
nothing
from
fake
it.
about it. And his brother walked in with Elizabeth, and she was actually absolutely the most pretty woman I've ever seen. She was in gray sweats, and he's like, "Here's what Lanny said: don't look her in the eye while he's talking to us." I'm like, "Huh? Don't look," because that's the way she was. He was very, very protective of her, and that one of those Poughkeepsie, New York thingies we did, Dick. Yeah, thanks.
Adopt to us.
Randy was a dick to us. Yes, he was. Yeah, Randy
Tried to
was.
duck him.
He was a dick. He really was. Anyway, I can't say anything bad, Mikey, Dee Dee, because in the locker room, Samu, I was head shrieker Samu. I've been buddies with him forever, and I broke a boot string for TV taping in Poughkeepsie, New York, and Macho Man. Samu goes over and asks Macho Man, get strings, and the strings in my red boots that I got from DD, traded white ones. Can you imagine me in white wrestling boots? And I traded him, and the strings in my boots still to this day are from Macho Man.
Nice.
No, I'll bet. All right. Can we talk about that?
We have Murph asked why. Now we didn't.
No. Listen, Michael Shesky. Now, Dee Dee's asking you a question. Seriously.
Hey,
Go ahead, bro.
We'll get to your urinal question.
Okay, you have
But,
no idea, bro.
we had some questions about why was he naked in bed doing the interview. Now, I don't think he realized it was going to be a video interview, so he just kind of
I
popped
don't
on
think he really cared.
Yeah, I don't think he really gives a fuck at this point.
When you're hung like a horse,
yeah,
why would you care
he's
anyway?
65 years old and he's about to move to Ecuador, so this might be the last interview he ever even does.
Yeah. Seriously.
God, it's crazy.
Seriously.
Ecuador? What the fuck's in Ecuador? It's hot as fuck.
It's nice.
It's the equator.
My favorite place to wrestle ever was Puerto Rico. Well,
Yeah, you went
Elwood
to
City,
Perry.
Pennsylvania. But have you ever been to Puerto Rico?
No.
If I could speak Spanish, I'd live there.
Yeah.
All right, so
It rains there. And I don't
Psycho
know.
Mike brings up Lou Albano spanking his monkey.
No, don't bring it up, Psycho Mike. I ain't texting shit. That's Dee Dee. That's the guy that I started.
Yeah, there seems to be a conspiracy.
No.
Because it seems you started laughing like
Well, that's-
motherfucker.
Because he
So what's
knows.
up with the spanking the monkey story?
Right. This is Lou Albano. When we went to, I got a letter from WWE. I have it. It's a scrapbook, WWE, where they wrote me and says, "Hey, come to wrestle for us on this TV taping." And I know what a jobber is, and well, I stepped on a lot of toes over when I was there. But anyway, me and Dee Dee, he drove me there. I started in the business with this guy because when I first met him, I wanted to. This is all in my first book. Anyway, I wanted to beat the fuck out this dude. For real? And the guy goes, "Where you going?" I go, "I want to beat him up." And he was the security guy, and he goes, "No, you got to shake his hand. He's going to learn how to wrestle
There's one
like you
right
are."
there.
So I just suck it up. Anyway, this dude, we drive to Poughkeepsie, New York, and then we got pissed. It's 11 hours one way. This is not a joke. And he drove in his Camaro. So anyway, we get to fucking New York. We go in there, and we got to piss. So we go and drive into the Mid-Houston, Mid-Hudson Civic Center in Poughkeepsie, New York. Got to piss. We walk into the bathroom, and Albano, this is the God's honest truth. I have wit. We walk into the John, and this Captain Lou Albano, he literally me and Dee Dee's like,
Sometimes you gotta knock one off.
jokingly, we go, "You need a hand?" And then we both walk out. What the fuck? Hold on, I'll pop in a second. and then the road construction he's talking about, he was tired. We spent all day. I don't know how long we were there. Probably 11-hour drive, 6 hours there wrestling, and another 11-hour drive back home. We didn't take a nap.
That's
no
what I
speed, no nothing.
I was telling him that story.
He
You get a
fucking
call,
goes.
you gotta go.
He's brand new Camaro. He goes, "Dude, I really am tired, and I know you want to get home, and I want to get home." So he let me drive his brand new Camaro. We just got off New York, and he pulls over to the side, and I'm not exaggerating like I tell you this, but he pulls over to the side, and then all of a sudden we're in Pennsylvania, and I start driving, and I go, oh, look, road construction next 31 miles. I don't remember driving 31 fucking miles.
You were just in that zone?
Dude, I pulled over the fucking side of the road all quivering and shit. I'm like, dude. He goes, what's wrong? I heard him sleeping. I'm like, remember the road construction? He goes, yeah. I go, 31 miles, right? I don't remember the fucking road construction.
So he was just drunk the whole time?
I wasn't drunk. Totally fucking. It was like a 20-hour day.
Oh,
And I wrestled. So I got the shit beat on me by
dehydrated, hallucinating.
I had to work. Had to be home. I had to work. So
Mike, we all know
28 miles. All right, brother.
Mike, Psycho Mike.
Yeah.
We all know.
Mike goes.
Mike,
That's
I
what
keep
he's known
like
by,
you
but I don't
were
know
Psycho Mike, and Mike was the other Mike was Demon of Darkness.
Yes.
Too many fucking Mikes.
Ask him if I've ever called him
Mike
anything
Bowles
but
too,
DD.
right on top of
Demon
that.
of Darkness.
Too many old Mikes.
That's why I call him DD.
We tried to get
Cat
the.
food madman.
I
Yeah,
thought
I'm Phil Collins. I'm the drummer for Genesis. Or you can call me Fred Flintstone. I'll answer by fucking anything if you feed me.
I pinned the Demon of Darkness by the copy machine at work.
That one time at band camp.
No, he used to have the best office at work. He did fucking corner desk.
Mikey's a good dude.
His pimp shit. Man.
I
Mike's
can't tell him. I can't say. Honestly, when I first met him, I swear to God, we were at Mountain over on Detroit. And we were on Detroit Avenue.
Yeah,
We're on Detroit Avenue,
brother.
in Mount Carmel.
Watch these.
And his sister and him were in the audience behind me. And his sister was like my daughter. She was so loud, she scrambled my egg. And I'm like, tell her to shut the fuck up. And he's like, dude, I'll beat your ass. I'm like, it's go time. He's like, intermission, because we didn't want to miss wrestling. So we're marching out, dude. Seriously, we're about to beat each other's ass. And we just happened to be talking. He's right. we were going fucking out to the parking lot. Just seriously.
Yeah,
we're coming back after I beat your ass. I'm still coming back in to watch wrestling. He thought the same fucking thing.
St. Michael's?
No, at Mount Carmel in Detroit. So anyway,
a couple years ago that show.
Dude. Anyway,
St. Michael's.
The security guy who was going to be one of the guys that helped teach us the wrestling goes, "Where you going?" I got we're going out to beat the fuck out of each other. He could tell by the look on his. He goes, "No, you're not." I'm like, "Oh yeah, it's gonna happen." Dude, watch him. True. So, and I'm like, dude, so let's go outside. And so he's like, he grabs his butt, like, no. I'm like, shake his hand. I'm like, the fucking Hulk. Hell, the fuck.
You did
Quasimodo gave me water. He's like, shake his hand. I'm like, shake, fuck you. I'll drive my fucking finger into his skull. Shake his fucking hand. He's going to learn how to wrestle with you. And I'm like, oh, it's going to be terrible. It turned into a 40-year friendship. I love him. We trusted each other's body with each other. I mean,
wrestling, they're doing it today now with this.
It's a big trust.
With this fucking, with this disease going around, this virus. They're still wrestling. Wrestling never stopped.
I still want
They're
to.
in a bubble, probably.
I still.
They're probably going to a hotel and they're staying in one neutral spot, just like everything else.
I'm sure they're doing it. About the virus thing, I don't get started. Yeah. But I'm sure they do the temperature thing and everybody else because.
Yeah, well, that's another show.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm not trying to get into politics. I can get into, but and I'm just saying, the CWA's been wanting to go outside. Cleveland Wrestling Alliance. Anyway, he's wanting to do an outside gig, and I'm like, if you space him, he's like, what if we get 300? I go,
you can do it.
If you get 300, you're going to need a big
parking lot.
Like the Brewer Fairgrounds.
Kmart.
Something that big.
Like Kmart. Kmart.
I don't know if they'll let us in there. there's nobody there. I
Roses.
look into it.
You have to get into roses.
But anyway, that's an idea. But
Kmart. on
you need
65th.
some so you can space them, or hey, just pull up to the fucking ring in your car.
Driving wrestling, yeah, you just do
Oh,
that. Everybody pulls
Yeah,
up in
you
the-
can probably do that.
You got four sides.
You know?
You got four sides. You could
Right,
fit
right. So
four
say
cars.
222, and then 222, and then and between those two.
Yeah. So
Anyway,
it's like being at the drive-in.
But it
where
kind of
cars-
sucks to have drive-up
I
wrestling.
hate that. That's what I said.
Well, it's
As
it's
far as
it's-
man, you wouldn't be hanging out as far as a family. Driving conscious are doing.
Like,
I don't want to sit
I'm not
hard
going
to the
$20
glass,
would be-
right?
the-
Sorry, it'd be $20. That'd be like get just enough to pay the boys. So $5 a fucking bring who you want in a car, sit on
It says
top of the car.
it's Psycho Mike versus Demon of Darkness and his steel cage.
Oh no!
One last time.
See this
He wants to
motherfucker.
still wrestle.
Listen,
You're
we-
gonna
we-
pull
we-
out
We did a Legends Battle Royal. I don't know, a year or two ago.
Remember ECW?
And I went in there, and I had all the boys that like DD, Vladimir Markov. These guys ain't been in the ring as long as I have, and because they got beat up, and they were smarter than I was. But anyway, I had them all come in for CWA at Turner's Hall, and I let them beat the living fuck out of me. I flipped and flopped around like, hey, wait a minute, I ain't that guy no more. They beat the fuck out of me, and then Zach comes, Zach comes during this Legends Battle Royal and stabs me in the face with a fork, for real. And I've grown this beard. I've seriously, because I got boo-boos that are still there. I can feel that. He went into my flubber, and that's why I've grown this beard since. I haven't shaved it. That motherfucker. Anyway, yeah. Dee Dee. Yeah. Hey, you took a bump, not for me.
How about speaking of forks?
Abdullah the Butcher.
There's a beast, Abdullah Butcher.
Dude,
I love that guy.
And
You should
he
see
was the
his
shit.
his forehead almost looks like Abdul.
Hold on, no, it don't. But hold on, hold on, brother, hold on. There's too many on that motherfucker.
What?
I'm on hair. I got mange. I got mange. Look, I got mange. I might have caught something.
One little spot right in the back.
It's like you put a landing strip on your
I'm
head.
a Mongol.
She'll walk.
He's a monk.
Walk by flopping. Nobody shall say anything. We should have Mike on here. Mike, oh, you want to come on here? Do you got a camera?
Yeah, cam up.
You're in a clean room. We can bring you on here.
Yeah,
Dee
cam
Dee
up,
will-
brother.
Yo, Dee Dee will fuck you up because he knows he's.
Fuck yeah, why not?
watched
Yeah, we got
all
some extra. We got about a half hour yet in the show.
You're
Mike,
gonna
if you-
cut the show anyways, right?
yeah. Well, I mean, who
You're
knows?
gonna do the
I'm gonna try. I don't know. Maybe.
interview.
Yeah.
Come on, Phil. Come on, join this.
I would do just the interview.
Dee Dee's
Yeah.
funny as fuck, though. And he knows the truth.
Mike, you can join us live if you got a camera right now on your phone.
Because they need us both in studio.
Click the link right here. If you click that, we can get you on the air.
I
In the
bet you
Zoom
both
room.
of them on
Oh, that might be
camera
trouble.
themselves
Hey,
would be a show.
He's the one that helped me refreshing some of the shit that I've been in the new book.
Mike's trying now. He says. Psycho
He
Mike
just-
on the air.
He's Psycho Mike. He's
Or Demon Darkness. Damn it! You guys got too many fucking mics, dude.
You
And
have
I'm-
mentioned this to me.
Damn
Who's
it.
Bagu?
Oh, that's my daughter.
Hey, tell her to be quiet.
All right, Nikki. It's obviously bedtime. You know this.
She's
All
waiting on you to bring her food.
Well, I mean, she
That's what she said about 5 minutes
Order
ago.
something, honey.
can eat cat food.
Put it on his bill.
She can eat some cat food. Now, Nikki, if you go in the one room, there's some cat food. If you eat the stuff that says extra gravy, that's good for you. Don't eat the pate. All right, Mike's joining us.
Hold on a minute, though.
All right, hold on, Mike O's joining us. Live on the air is the Demon of Darkness. I got it right. From Brunswick, Ohio. What's up?
There we are.
Hi, are Bill.
What's going on, brother?
I used to know you back in the day.
I wanted to kick you.
So I said, brother, I remember this. That was a part of the first book. Check out the Twisted World of the Master. Oh, the Twisted World of the Tattooed Madman, Psycho Mike. Yeah, it's on Amazon, and I wrote a second book. It has nothing about you anymore. I should include some of that legend shit, but I let them beat the fuck out of me. They'll tell you.
I took the bump.
What? Wait a minute, brother. What did you just say? Bump.
Well, come on.
Wait a minute. Ball. I let you and Joe and Clute beat the fuck out. I was like, I got back in the back. I'm like, thank God, Sack stabbed me with the fork.
Look,
I was blown out.
that was old time.
Yeah. I figured let's just sell a little bit for you guys.
I was duplex so I can impress my kids.
Oh yeah, get a
Half cheese.
half sheet. There's cheese in here.
Pepperoni.
Yeah, pepperoni sausage laying on.
I never thought about it that way.
You know how
You gotta think.
pepperoni sausage.
My son and my kids never seen stuff. My oldest kid.
Yeah, no fun.
I know that during that thing that Channel 19 did, where they got Charmaine
Ready to eat.
Yeah.
Oh my Lord! That went. That helped sell it, whether it was a bad piece or not. But that helped get. I thought I'd get CWA over. Hey man, you guys.
Charmaine and Destiny, my niece.
Oh my God!
Are
That
y'all
make you feel?
burning?
No, we're burning. Yeah.
Sage.
Okay. It's
You got sage.
Burning the midnight oil is the word, burn.
It's the ministry.
There we go.
It's the THC ministry, the higher council. I'm going to make a church. I'm the ordained minister. Why not?
Hey, we got 4 of us right here, right?
What?
Like 4 horsemen.
He looks like he looks like the Undertaker if the Undertaker like gets stuck in the buffet for a couple weeks.
He did. Stuck. When it's stuck, that motherfucker lived there. If it wasn't, if I didn't sweat, I'd explode.
Good thing for open pores.
Dee Dee used to be a big boy too. The bourgeois. Hey, wait a minute. Yeah.
That's my
I wrestled. Well, I gotta tell you a quick bushwhacker story. I don't even know if you know this one, but me and Kenny Lord Zoltan, were wrestling as the Master Blasters against the Bushwhackers. Now we did with the C, of course, but we wrestled about 19 times. But I was always the guy that I beat them up, then Zoltan would get pinned, but. They're like, we're going to do a fucking Skittles. I'm looking at Zoltan like, what the fuck is a Skittles? I've been wrestling quite a few years, and I've never heard of Skittles before in my life. It's where they do the do-si-do, where they swing you around. Don't go. You lost me. You're right. When they swing around and reverse to first, I'm like, why would you call that a fucking skill? I was totally like, I don't want to sound stupid, so I'm not going to ask them. I'm going to ask the tag team partner. What the fuck is a Skittles?
So, Mike, Demon of Darkness, would you right now, if you were in a cage with this guy, Psycho Mike, what would the outcome be, man? Who do you think would win this match?
What do you think? It would be the heel.
Who's the heel?
Well, come on now.
Why
was Mike Morton's not going to be there?
Well, I wrestled with your Marvel's Martin. You
I was
wrestled.
17.
Your name was Marvelous Mike Morton?
Yes. That was my very first wrestling name. I was 17.
We should have called the guy to work, Marvelous Mike Morton. That'd have been awesome. What's your quarter desk?
That fucking name lasted one day.
Marvelous Mike Morton.
I am not a baby face. I'm a heel, damn it.
You should walk in with a totally shaved face, like a pocket protector, and some kind of Triple H knockoff gimmick here, Marvelous Mike Morton.
That's not happening.
Where the fuck did we come up with Demon of Darkness at anyway?
You know where that came from? I will tell you where that came from. As a teenager, I hung around with a guy by the name of Alfred Morales. We called him Elpo because he bit a dog back. A dog bit him, he bit the dog. So we nicknamed him Elpo. Well, Mike, Joe, you might be old enough to remember this. There was a little boy that was killed, a Mario Trevino.
Yeah, it doesn't really ring a bell.
Okay, so it was in 1985. I had just gotten back from Arizona. And he killed a little boy. And he had, remember the old Pittsburgh Pirates hats with the 3 black rings and yellow hat? In that yellow hat, he had the words Demon of Darkness. Well, he was in jail for the rest of his life on death row. There's my wrestling name.
Okay. So you just basically follow the guy who's dying. Well, is this guy dead now? The original Demon?
No, he's they took him off of death row because he didn't get a fair trial. But they still sentenced him to another 30 years, so he won't get out until he's 76, which is probably still another 18, 19 years.
Damn.
Don't look at this.
I'm not.
Wow, Jameson. Jesus, this guy's took a
Sons of bitch. You know that's a. You know
We're
you're
Irish.
batting,
Sorry.
right?
Wait a minute. When I was on the road, I don't know if he remembers or not. What did I drink on the road? Do you remember?
Peach wine.
No, I drank fucking white fucking Russians.
like the dude
Yeah,
from
what?
Philadelphia. White Russian.
Russians. And 12 pack.
That'll curl up stomach.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Michigan shows. If you're going to. What the fuck? Freeze! Nobody move. Nobody get hurt.
I was in Kansas.
Keep that shit rolling, man. Keep that.
Oh, I think the pizza.
You remember Toledo? And we took over the show. We were the first match out and the best match on the card. And we got chewed out by the promoter.
The Yak, that I do remember. The Yak Arena. We bought the ring. They fucked up and they go, we're short a match. We were already polished as fuck. All we were supposed to do is deliver the ring. They go, you guys open. Well, give it a second, watch it. We stole the fucking show. We go back to the room, and these boys were fucking hot. You stole everything we could do. First match.
Yeah, they were hot.
Sorry, we already been paid. Her didn't get done, so we can pack our fucking ring up and go. Were we selling merch at that time or no?
No, we weren't selling any merchandise, but we had rented the ring.
And I think we rented the ring. Listen, how much the ring rental was? Was it $250 or $225?
Yeah, it was $250.
And all that motherfucker to Michigan, unhauled it. It was a hockey arena called the Yak Arena. Oh, it beat the fuck out of me. Then like, you guys, we just got done building that ring maybe an hour ago. Hauling boards by herself.
Yep. We were the ring crew and the wrestlers.
Yeah, that fucking sucked.
Yeah.
I guess it's called pay. We had a ring. No, since we're on here, I know you guys don't really give a shit, but listen, him and I had a ring that was 16, 7 on one side, 16 even on one side.
It was square somewhere.
17. No, he hit that ring and he'll go, what? Yeah. Hey, man, that's something right. Oh, hey, cookies. See these?
No, all he's getting is a Blair.
It's a cookie.
You're too busy by the light, dude.
That's okay.
You can't have it.
I had one of those Papa
You can't have one anyway.
So what you been doing with yourself, Mike? How you been, buddy? I ain't seen you in a while.
Go ahead and tell him.
He had a hell of a health scare. I went and told my niece, I think Dee Dee's dead.
Okay.
That was yesterday. He goes, I went to the dentist. I can't help you with your book because I'm fucked up. I'm like, dude, get better. I don't give a fuck about the book.
Right.
So he goes, my heart rate's 30. It's 38.
It was 37. 37 beats a minute.
BP's like, right. Come on, it should be
120 a raise normal. What was
right.
it?
No,
Was it real low?
87 over 53.
Oh, that's too low. You gotta get that boosted up, man.
so he had he goes, so I write him, I go, let me know what the fuck's going on. And I don't hear from him. So my niece comes over and goes, I said, he's passed, man. I ain't heard from the motherfucker. She goes, no, I saw him on Facebook. So I write him and I go, what the fuck?
Mike's had a couple incidents on Facebook over the years.
Just don't open the Bud Lights. You guys crack the Bud Lights, I'm getting off of here.
Mickey's brother.
Irish. We're all Irish tonight.
These guys, he doesn't drink, and I haven't had a drink since October of 18. So.
I do drink. I just ain't drinking it.
Hey, listen, I don't drink anymore. I don't drink any fucking less, but I don't drink anymore.
I don't drink anymore either. It gets me in trouble.
Yeah, that's what I was. You just start drinking it. It's fucking over.
There. Yes,
it's over. Fuck yeah, man.
Hang on a minute. I got to let my dog out. Come on,
he has gun.
Hold on a second here.
Yeah, sure.
Come on. Huh?
Fucking, he's a cheater. He just poked me in my eye.
I got. You didn't see
Get the fuck out of here.
You didn't see that thing coming?
Yeah, I did. Right in
My God,
the fucking
But he just stopped me.
retina.
He didn't stop.
You need us both.
Because when I looked at him, he was already here.
I used to bite this motherfucker. He's like,
You was biting him?
You know you need to feed your kids, right?
Yeah, we'll get pizza. I'm gonna bring it home. If you're out there in the audience, you got any questions for our special guest, the Demon of Darkness, retired
he hates people.
employee, you could definitely drop them there in the
He hates
chat.
people.
Sorry about the.
Hey,
Did
Joe.
you just call him a retired?
Yes,
What
sir.
Don't forget. What? It's so too bright.
Did I retire?
No, he's a retired employee.
Yes, I'm a
He-
retired employee.
He don't know what to do with himself.
Right. One time he just woke
Oh,
up.
seriously, he asked him. He don't know what the fuck to do with himself.
Well, he was part of the motorcycle.
Wait a minute.
club.
Wait, what? Hold on. Where's that fucking fish at?
Oh, what fish? You mean the big salmon? Hang on a minute, guys. I lost you.
What?
The big salmon?
Oh yeah. All right, we're thinking.
Hang on, I gotta
You're
let my dog
pregnant.
in.
He's letting the dog out or in.
Pregnant. What?
I
He's
gotta-
pregnant.
Are you
He's
talking about the big fish, the salmon?
Yes.
It's in my freezer.
Why in some of mine?
I was out fishing on the Pacific Ocean last month.
Yeah, I know all that. Yeah, fuck all everybody else right now. It's about you and I like salmon.
An interesting fact about salmon is that the L is silent. It's pronounced
Salmon.
salmon.
I like that salmon shit.
My grandma used to. My grandma, his aunt used to
You ain't
cook
cooked
it
it yet?
out of a can.
Salmon in a can.
Oh, the house would stink.
Didi, you ain't
I
cooked
was
it yet?
raised on salmon in a can.
Woo. There's nothing wrong with salmon in a can.
Hell no.
Salmon.
Salmon. Salmon.
Salmon in a can.
Tim Salmon was a hell of an outfielder. California Angels back in the day. And the Angels always had a bunch of fish named players. They got Mike Trout, Tim Salmon. I'm sure
Joey,
somewhere.
I forgot about that.
You're listing
I didn't think
baseball
about it right.
players named after fish, bro.
So
Catfish
what you
hunter.
got, chicken wings?
What's that, Mike?
You guys eating chicken wings, or you rolling another blunt?
I'm rolling on blunt. We have some pizza from Nunzio's in the background here.
Nunzio's.
When we wrap up,
You don't like Nunzio's. I know that. Yeah.
I love
Nunzio's.
Nunzio's.
I'd like to have Nunzio sponsor the show. See, we had fucking, it rained earlier, man, and the fucking internet got fucked up.
Dee and I used to live next door to each other, literally.
Did you guys live above Nunzio?
Literally.
His house, his apartment was here. Mine was there.
Right on the corner.
Okay.
Wait a minute.
West
50th?
50th and Clark.
Who stole whose mail? Did you guys steal each other's mail, or
You were lucky. Wait, you were lucky to get mail there.
50th floor? I mean.
That motherfucking mailman wrote by you. Get your shit.
Do you remember a bar over there on Store and 54th? It was like called Helen's. You remember that bar?
Helen's, yes, I do. And Gargano owned it. Fuck.
My buddy
The
Kyle.
Beehive? Was it the Beehive?
Who are you related? Are you related to Joe?
No, I'm.
I don't like this guy.
He's related to this guy.
I'm related to Jason.
Yeah, he's Jason's cousin.
Oh, okay.
He's in. I had a picture of Jason and I where Jason's on my fucking shoulders in a Gene Simmons mask, and I'm dressed as Gene Simmons. You don't know it's in there, but
What's that? He showed me that picture.
Locked in the closet back there?
you don't know it's in there. He don't know.
Well, he's got a little kids.
Well, for the forward of my book, I had my next door neighbor that knew me before I was Psycho Mike.
No, you were just psycho then.
No, I was just Wolfman then.
Oh.
Before wrestling, he goes, I knew his fucking crazy. I included pictures from Polaroids where I had jumped off. I had a Polaroid camera and I jumped off the roof of his house in my Gene Simmons outfit.
Oh, I was there.
Tell him the secret now. You let the cat out the bag.
You know that picture's in the new book, right? That picture the other day.
I sent
Because
it.
he's talking about
forwarded it to
Debbie.
you.
He's Debbie. And I put
Oh,
pictures
no
of Debbie
shit.
in there. Yeah. So,
48.
yeah. So I put all. So fuck. Let me spoil it here. Here's some pictures before I was Psycho Mike. Don't look.
He was. There was a
What was it?
name.
What was his name? When
There
he
were
first
still a
started
lot of
wrestling?
names. He was always the character. Mike Brown.
No, when he first started
No.
wrestling, he knows.
Marvelous Mike Morton.
No, that
Not
wasn't
me.
Marvelous Mike Morton. No, I wrestled as Mad Max Martin because that was the name of the wrestling license that was fucking in Michigan.
Yeah,
Really?
Yeah.
Are you serious? Wow.
that's a true story.
Promoter had a wrestling license. He goes, I wrestle with Psycho Mike. He goes, well, tonight you're Mad Max Martin. And I wrestled Al Snow, and Al Snow was, battling Bob Bellamy.
It's probably us watching.
Oh my God.
Al Snow, big name. Actually, Dee Dee pinned Al Snow.
True story.
Oh, it's a street up there.
I booked that.
Yeah.
I actually booked that match for Great
Even
Lakes.
if we just keep bullshitting, I would just keep it going
All
for an
right.
hour and a half. There with a
Hey, you know what? To keep it down over there. You know, you guys are just fucking talking and talking.
Liver.
Oh, yeah, he's still in the road
You
here
pass it.
with the medicinal. For reasons, that's medicinal. I don't know.
We are the we're a
We're only watching our own show at this point, so it really doesn't matter.
pretty much. Yeah. Hey,
Look,
Dee Dee.
we're on big screen.
Right. I'm on the TV.
I'm
Look at me, Bob. Look at me, Bob.
He is too.
I'm on the
He's
TV. I'm waking up Jason's neighbors talking loud to myself on the TV, and they go, bro, I just $1,000 worth of people. It's a great way of fucking.
Hey, brother. I love you to death. You know that, man. Seriously.
You know, there's always that love is always there, brother. It's always going to be there, regardless of.
So, if you're planning on leaving, you know, I won't talk to you no more. I'll just take you on the fucking street and fucking poke you in the eye. I don't give a fuck.
Gonna be
That's Jason.
Gonna be hard.
You almost poked me in the eye again.
I would be in nice that time.
Yeah, well, you caught me off guard again.
But wait, I got a question. Whatever happened to Mr.
So
Psycho?
you're saying wrestling is cheap shots?
Hold on. What?
Whatever happened to Mr. Psycho?
That's who.
Oh yeah, Mr. Psycho.
There's a
Yeah.
picture of me.
Yes,
in the new
it
book.
said Mr. Psycho.
That's what I
It
started.
Yeah.
I wore that fucking hood,
You're
and I
right.
put a nose piece over it, and it had Mr. Psycho.
Yeah.
It was so fucking hot and a goddamn thing.
Yeah.
And then we went to, I think it was spring. I can't remember. No, we went to this one town. No, Bell Fountain.
Belfont, Ohio is the first country in America.
Oh my God, dude! I went there, and this little old lady loved me, and I was ginger then. Ma Brown. She had a fucking place called the Spoke Wheel. She goes, "Hey, let me see your whiskers." I'm like, "How the fuck you know I have whiskers?" Anyway, I pull my. You and your friends come on down to my place anytime. I'm like, "All right, you don't even know what the fuck I look like." I see what your whiskers are. We go to this fucking place and so anyway, we go and we drink for free. Yes. Anyway, I went back to this town. She goes, "Hey, let me see your whiskers." I'm like, "Well, why?" She goes, "This fucking guy's crooked." I'm like, "What do you mean he's crooked?" "He's got a show in another town called and had Psycho there, and I have to see his whiskers, and it wasn't you."
Hello.
Look at that. Look, I had two different color fucking socks on both feet.
No, you're not wearing socks. You're wearing clogs.
I wear Crocs, man.
Hey, those are the
Shit,
best
Crocs.
grilling shoes ever.
I
Fuck the
have,
new black. New.
Wait a minute.
I have
I'm
grilling
very
shoes
familiar
and
with
neither
fucking
my
New
friends
Balance.
fucking rough.
Get
Hey,
you some.
I don't like that guy. Where'd
Oh,
you get that?
you don't
That
like
was
it?
fucking ink. What's up
Yeah,
with your ink?
Rodney Rose.
Hold on. Where'd you get that pussy tattoo at?
Yeah.
Yeah, that little pussy one there.
Oh, you mean that?
No, that pussy one you just pointed to.
Wait a minute. I gotta pull my band-aid off. I had an IV in there.
I have to see that one. I seen your Band-Aid. That's what happens when you're retarded.
Sturgeon.
Yeah.
20.
That's why you got sick, you sick fuck. Now let me see that other one. That little pussy one up on your fucking bicep.
C19 pause.
Hey, keep it down somewhere, goddamn it. Ain't no goddamn party.
We're past. Let's not rock the boat.
Not quite 11 yet. Give me time.
Right? Everybody's going to get shot. Oh, we're going to get shot live in the air if we keep going.
How about fucking pizza delivery shines light in your light the police? Even next door.
I 100% was not paying attention to anything. I didn't realize it.
Hey, Dee Dee. I'm going to love this. This is in my first book. Hey, Dee Dee.
What? Look at that. YouTube.
When we wrestled at Flash Gordon's.
Flash. I used to break dance there.
Yeah.
So
What happened? Wait a minute. What happened at Flash Gordon's when we wrestled?
Oh,
I don't know. I don't remember. I don't remember.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
We did a 15. Wait a minute. Easiest way to explain it is we did a 15-minute match in 6 minutes.
3.
You slammed them and knocked them out.
No, everything was hot.
ATM?
Everything was boom, boom, boom. No, boom, 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 boom.
Oh, so you just did
Then-
transition, move,
He's laying there, and I come off the fucking rope set.
90 mile an hour.
You guys butt heads?
Easily, no.
Shoulder block?
Flying elbow.
Oh, God. Flying
No wonder I
burrito?
didn't- no,
You hit it with the
honest-
flying burrito?
He's laying prone, and I'm flying.
Wait,
It's, what the?
Yes.
And all you can see him doing is like, I don't give a fuck about anything. Go ahead and hit me. This is exactly. I have a video of someone.
To this day, To this day, if I don't watch that video, I cannot tell you what side of the ring I got out of.
He grabs his fucking head. I don't give a fuck. Pin me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I need to go to the concussion protocol.
Wait a minute. Here's DD. Watch. I'm gonna get you, Lee.
right now, I got 30 days.
Oh, he should. No, right now. Later wasn't even on his mind. It was like, I get get away from this fuck.
Hey, here's your buddy. Here's your buddy.
Doug Such. That guy is named Ron Cumberledge. And he wrestled Flair to a draw. And he was a body fucking Donis from here. You know, I should put some of this shit in.
What happened to that guy? Is he still alive?
Should I tell him? You should want to know the truth? I lived in Lakewood on the Gold Coast. I lived on the 10th floor. The penthouse is on the top floor.
This is a bad time.
Yeah. And
Bad
Cumberledge comes in with this little foreign fellow, and he's wearing a fucking meat coat.
And breaking news, Chadwick Boseman, the guy who played the Black Panther, died of cancer at age 43, 13 minutes ago.
No, you're not. You're,
Sure.
Wow. Wait a minute.
Wow.
It'll be COVID.
It says dies of cancer, so that's
It'll be
wow.
COVID.
So RIP,
Is that your twat? That's pretty nice. I see a lot of pink there, Mike.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
Did you hear me say DD? You had it up on your armpit? I'm like, that's a lot of pink, brother.
Oh, the pink pussy cat?
Do you not know? Wait a minute. Do you not know me? Hello.
Sorry, sir.
Been a lot of hotels.
I can remember 7 of the concussions, not all of them.
Hey, well, I got. Never mind.
you can't remember. Like concussion.
No, I've had.
Did you ever get your retina detached? Lose your eye?
No, but I.
Either one of you.
No, DD's got concussions, busted knees.
I've seen Mike's knee. I've seen DD's knees. They're shot to shit. You could really, yeah. Oh yeah.
Wait a minute, there's so much scar tissue on that one.
Right. Red Hot Chili Peppers called him and said they wanted their song back because he had some scar tissue in his knees, right?
Yes.
That's because that doctor fucked up my leg. He's the one that ended my wrestling career.
Thank God, because your ass was so stiff.
In a cage any day.
That motherfucker was so stiff, man. You have no idea. That motherfucker gave me concussions. Wait a minute. I got to give you this, brother. I love you to death. We got so much shit from trying to steal the shit from people. I mean, you want how long?
Stealing gimmicks?
No, brother. We go out and they sent us out as the first fucking match. You're like,
You got it set a bar.
I think you might
set a
have.
bar.
Oh, DD, wait, was it a bar? Yeah. It was more like a couple hurdles.
It was some type of an arena.
No, that's not what I mean. Did we set the bar? No, I think we set up a few fucking hurdles.
As high as it could be set.
We got in trouble. Seriously, first match, and we're
They get mad because you ain't supposed to be.
We're on the top. I'm on
Your
the top.
prelims.
I'm on the top. Right, I'm on the top fucking rope, and I'm fucking. And the people are like, wah, wah. I'm like, you're not gonna top that. And first match, we had them blowed out. The fans are like, it's gonna be hard to back shit. And then we get in the back and like, we're not even gonna book your fucking ring no more, dude. Just don't have us wrestle.
Well, you're still.
Oh no, they want you fucking back. Well,
You're still in.
wait a minute. Didn't we go back, but we didn't have to take the ring?
Yes. We went back one. Oop, wait a minute. Gotta get my gun.
Duck! God damn, dude. Where the fuck you at?
This escalated quickly. The demon of darkness is getting his.
What happened? I said I love you, Jesus Christ. Duck! Come on, go get with Duck.
When probation's over, I can play with my toys again.
Yeah, I already want to talk about your toys. So, you've already been in trouble a couple of times. No, dude. We're not even gonna go there, fucker. Watch him. See these imitation belts he got? Those
shit.
are fucking originals. Dee, bring that one down. It's a nice strap. Yeah, it's a nice strap. Mm-hmm.
You see, wait a minute.
Oh, yeah, it's a beautiful strap in the wall right there. Oh, my God. Fuck the autograph, you pussy.
Do you see the signatures, you dumbass?
I don't give a fuck about those signatures.
Wait. Maybe you'll care about this one then. Let me see if I can reverse my camera.
Show me Abdul the Butcher. I got IBs and everybody else. I got Steve Austin signing his fucking name as Billy Cyrus.
Billy Ray Cyrus?
No, he put Billy Cyrus. He didn't put Ray. You dick. I got Flying Brian's and
what
you
was
go.
Steve Austin's
Fire, please.
original wrestling name?
Stunning Steve.
Body Donnas or some shit.
No, hold on. He was.
There's a blonde, some kind of blonde connection or something.
No, he was.
The blonde connection.
He started as Steve Williams, his original name, but that's not where he was when he started in Texas, and I cannot. Stunning Steve. And he had his wife at the
Stunning
time.
Steve Austin.
Super.
Southwest.
No, he wasn't Austin.
Blonde hair.
Yes, but he had his wife with him. He's had his wife with him. That
Superstitious.
Yeah, okay. It wasn't Austin then.
You gotta hold this. This fall.
Oh my God, dude!
I know, right? Well, our normal blunt roller, Julia, she didn't show up tonight because the rain killed the whole fucking vibe, bro.
Dude, it killed her.
It was fucking killed the internet.
What? No.
Hey, Joe.
What?
Serious question.
What's up, Mike?
What's the rumor around there about me?
Nothing really, because we've all been home for fucking 5 months.
You're a dirty
nobody.
boss.
We haven't. Nobody's literally haven't heard your name talk since like I talked to you. Like,
Nobody liked you. Nobody will like you.
I mean, with working at home, dude, we literally don't see anybody or nobody talks to anybody. It's just, I mean, it's literally just.
It's that bad.
That's it. Yeah, it's just no vibe. I mean, you talk to somebody, it's on the DM and a messenger, and that's. There might be we have like every 2 weeks we'll have a conference call. And that's it. You know, that's fucking ridiculous. I mean,
Yeah, they.
I
I think Jim Ciccolini cornered Doc Jennings in the hallway and was making statements that I had been fired, that he had me fired.
You're still collecting the check. Who cares?
I'm collecting a very nice monthly check. Thank you very much.
Hey, shut up! I don't know you.
It just took a long time to process, though. He was waiting there for like a year or some shit.
Is that Max?
Huh? What's that?
That Max?
No, that's
That's
Reynolds. That's TC Reynolds.
Hey, all right. Almost like Preston.
Yeah,
I tell you what, Preston does a hell of a job doing it.
he does. He does. The problem is when he's not getting paid at some shows.
Preston ain't.
No,
Well,
you know
Well,
about the
it's
last
Preston
one because
still
we
on
talked
him.
about it.
Oh, all right.
all right, guys, we probably should wrap this up here.
Get out of here, man. Don't.
But we can still talk to Mike for a while. We
I
can
don't
keep
like
going.
that guy either.
We'll go behind the scenes.
Yeah, we can show. Let's
Thanks
do like this.
everybody for watching.
We're gonna shut the.
Yeah, we're gonna set the record. We're gonna set the recording down.
You stay there.
Yeah, Mike O, Demon of Darkness, DD, as he's been known
Yeah,
as.
DD.
The double DD because he's got DD titties. Stay on the cast. Stay on the cast. We're gonna end the live. Stay there.
Toilet. That's what it is.
All right. If nobody's watching this, but if you're watching this, and if something happens to one of us and you're watching the whole video, like sometimes somebody dies or something. Like if
Look,
you know,
all
somebody.
of them. I told you.
What?
I'm not dying.
Stop wishing death on
I'm not wishing death on you. I'm just saying, if somebody dies, somebody might watch this right now. Right now, nobody's watching this, but if you're watching this later on in life, like and subscribe. If you hit the bell, you're gonna get notified.
I am losing weight. You are fucking gaining weight. I'm not gonna die.
Because we eat some pizza. But like and subscribe all the time, and thank you everyone for coming out.
Don't come back.
And fuck my balls, son. Fuck my balls, because nobody's watching this right now. All right, we're ending the live feed, and then we'll go to the